Hey guys! Today I'll show you how to crochet this cute bear ear hat. This is probably my favorite hat out of all the hats that I made. It's got two long strings, the bottom of the strings are in a spiral shape, and you can tie them together so the hat stays on properly. The fit is perfect. My head circumference is about 22 inches, and the yarn I used is 8 ply, so that's weight 3, and I used a 4mm crochet hook for this project. I'm going to show you how to crochet the ears first. So this is worked in the round, and then you fold it like that and attach it onto the hat. So first I'm going to make a magic ring, create a loop, insert your hook and pull this yarn through, and then you chain 1. In this ring I'm going to make 6 single crochets. So insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 to make a single crochet, and you can mark this stitch. This is the first stitch, and then I'll make 5 more single crochets. So you just pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Six single crochets, and then I'm gonna pull this little tail tight to close this loop. Okay, then I'm gonna join in the round to the first stitch, which is marked. So I just insert my hook in the stitch and make a slip stitch. Okay, that's round 1. Round 2, chain 1. In the first stitch, which is still marked, work a single crochet first. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. You can mark this stitch again, because it's the first stitch. And then in the same stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. To make a double crochet, yarn over, and then insert hook in the same stitch, and you pull up a loop. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Then you yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And that's a double crochet. So these 2 stitches, one single, one double, I'm going to work them in every stitch. This is the second single crochet, and I'm going to work a single crochet in it, then a double crochet. Again, to work a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so you're going to continue doing this. If you work these 2 stitches in every stitch, this round 2 you should have 12 stitches. If you're not sure which one is the last stitch, you should always count from the first stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so once I have 12 stitches, I'm gonna slip stitch in the first stitch again, and you do this at the end of every round. Slip stitch. Okay, round 3, chain 1. In the first stitch, I'm gonna make a double crochet. So to make a double crochet, remember yarn over first, and then pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then again you mark the first stitch. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to work 2 stitches. The first one is a single crochet. And the second one is a double crochet. And then I'm just going to repeat this. So that means double crochet in one stitch and then single double in the next stitch. Okay, so next stitch starting from here, which is a double crochet first, and then in the next stitch 2 stitches, this and this, 1 single and 1 double in the same stitch. Okay, so continue doing this. This row you should have 18 stitches. Okay, so I've got 18 stitches, and then I'm gonna slip stitch in the first stitch. This stitch is taller because it's a double crochet. Next round is round 4, so we chain 1. For round 4, I'm gonna work 1 single in the first stitch and 1 double in the next stitch. And then on the third stitch, I'm gonna do an increase. In this pattern, an increase means 2 stitches worked in 1 stitch. So the 2 stitches will be 1 single and then 1 double. Okay, so that is the pattern, and then you just repeat this again and again all the way to the end. So the first stitch is single, next stitch double, and then single double in 1 stitch. Single, double, single, double. And continue repeating that. This round you should have 24 stitches. Okay, now I've got 24 stitches. This is round 4. By the way, this is gonna be the right side. So slip stitch. Round 5, I'm not gonna increase. I'm just gonna alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet. So that means the first stitch is gonna be a double crochet, and then next stitch, single crochet. And that's all you are going to repeat. So double crochet in the next stitch, and then single in the next stitch. Repeat this all the way to the end, and because we're not increasing for this round, you should still have 24 stitches. Round 6. Round 6, I'm going to increase. So chain 1 and I'm going to begin with a single crochet and a double crochet in the next stitch. I forgot to mark the first stitch. The third stitch is a single crochet, and then the increase happens in the fourth stitch. And in that stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet first, and then a single crochet. So single, double, single, and then increase, which is a double crochet and a single crochet. And continue repeating this to the end of the round. And this round, you should have 30 stitches. So this is round 6. Only 2 more rounds left. Round 7, I'm not going to increase. The pattern for round 7 is a double crochet in the first stitch, then single, then double, single, then a double crochet, one in each stitch. So double, single, double, single, double, right? And then here you're going to begin with a double crochet again. So keep repeating that and finish this round. End of round 7, slip stitch. Round 8, the first stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch, single. Next stitch, double. And then in the 5th stitch, work a single and a double as an increase. So single, double, increase, which is a single and a double. So continue repeating this all the way around. This round you should have 36 stitches. So end of row 8, slip stitch, and chain 1. Leave a long tail so we can sew the ears onto the hat. Leave about 1 meter and cut your yarn. And that's the ears. And when we attach it, it's not going to be flat. We're going to curl it a little bit, so it's going to be like that. So we're going to start the hat in a similar way with a magic ring. You're going to work 5 single crochets in it. So for the ears, we worked in the round, but for the hat, we're going to work in rows, which means every time we finish a row, we're going to turn our work and work in the opposite direction. So this is row 1, row 2, chain 1 and turn. And in each of the 5 stitches, I worked 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. And I continued working the first stitch of each row. And row 2, because we doubled the stitch number, we should have 10 stitches. Row 3, chain 1 and turn. Row 3 is kind of like row 2. I'm going to work 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in each stitch again, doubling the stitch number, which makes it 20 stitches for this row. Round 4, chain 1 and turn. In the first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet, and then in the next stitch, work an increase, which is a double, then a single. And then you just continue repeating this pattern, 1 single in the next stitch, and 1 increase in the next stitch, which is a double and a single. And for this round, you should have 30 stitches. Round 5, the first stitch is a double crochet. You can chain 2 as the first double crochet, but I make my first double crochet with 2 single crochets. So without chaining any, I turn my work. In the first stitch, I first make a single crochet, and then in the left vertical loop, insert my hook and work a second single crochet. So the 2 single crochets on top of each other together is the first double crochet. This just makes the edge look better and easier to work your stitches in it without creating big holes. So that's the first double crochet, and then in the second stitch, work a single crochet. And then the increase happens in the third stitch, and the increase is a double crochet and a single crochet. And then you just repeat this pattern over every 3 stitches, and for this row you should have 40 stitches. So from this row I'm going to increase every other row. So the next row, row 6, we won't do any increase. This row begins with a double crochet again. Actually, whether the first stitch of the next row is a double crochet or not had something to do with the last stitch of this row. If this is a single crochet, then the first stitch of the next row is a double crochet. If this last stitch is a double crochet, then the first stitch of the next row is a single crochet. So this last stitch is a single crochet, and that means the first stitch of the next row is a double crochet. So without chaining any, turn my work 2 single crochets as the first double crochet. And as I mentioned before, this row I'm not doing any increase, so I just alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet. So that means the next stitch is a single crochet, and the next stitch is double, next stitch single again, and then just repeat those stitches. And because we didn't increase this row, we still have 40 stitches. So row 7, because this stitch is a single crochet, so I know that the first stitch of the next row is a double crochet. So I just turn my work my special double crochet, the next stitch is a single crochet, and next stitch double again, and in the fourth stitch I'm going to make an increase, and the increase is a single crochet and a double crochet. And then you just repeat the whole thing again, starting with a double crochet. And this row you should have 50 stitches. Row 8 begin with a single crochet, and then a double crochet in the next stitch, a single in the next, a double in the next, and a single crochet in the 5th stitch. So single, double, single, double, single, and you just keep repeating that. And because this row we don't have increase, we should have 50 stitches again. Row 9, the first stitch is a double crochet, so turn your work, make the first double crochet, and a single crochet in the next stitch, a double in the next stitch, a single in the next stitch, and then in the 5th stitch work an increase, and the increase for this round is a double crochet and a single crochet. So go ahead and repeat this pattern for row 9. This row you should have 60 stitches. Last stitch of row 9 is a single crochet, so row 10 start with a double crochet, and row 10 we've done this before, it's exactly the same as row 6, and for this row you just alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet, so 1 stitch in each stitch, no increase. Row 11, For the first 5 stitches, I alternated between a double crochet and a single crochet. So that's double, single, double, single, double, right? And in the 6th stitch, I did an increase, which is a single and a double. And that's the pattern for the whole row. You just repeat this to finish this row. And row 12, for every 7 stitches, I alternated between a single crochet and a double crochet. This is different from just alternating between a single and a double for the whole row, because if I do it every 7 stitches, number 7 is going to be a single crochet, and then because I'm repeating this pattern again, number 8, the 8th stitch, is going to be a single crochet again. So basically you do single, double, single, double, single, double, single, and then you just repeat that. Begin with the single again. Okay, row 12, you should have 70 stitches, and we're just going to do 2 more rows. So row 13, for the first 6 stitches, alternate between a double and a single. So double, single, double, single, double, single. And then in the 7th stitch, work an increase. And the increase is a double crochet and a single crochet. And then you repeat the whole thing again. So you work double, single, double, single, double, single, 1 in each stitch, right? So that's 6 stitches. And then in the very next stitch, work an increase again, which is a double and a single in the same stitch. And you just keep repeating this. And for this row, you should have 80 stitches. This last row, row 14, is easy. It's the same as row 10. You're just going to alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet. 1 stitch in each stitch. And this row, you should still have 80 stitches. So after 14 rows, you're going to flatten your piece and it should look something like this. It kind of looks like a circle, and this circle is now 8.5 inches in diameter. And this length is about 22 inches. And then from here, I'm going to stop increasing. I'll just do this row 10 more times, which is alternating between a double crochet and a single crochet. I also mark the edge of this row so that it's easier for me to count my rows. So from here, I did 10 rows. The 10 rows measures about 3 inches. And you can see it's 10 rows. So that's the one that I marked. That's a double crochet, 1, single crochet, 2 rows, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you can just look at the pattern. So you can see a little bit bump here. One bump is 2 rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So from here, I'm gonna work the ribbing. For the ribbing, I first made a chain, and then I worked back loop single crochets back and forth like that along this edge. And every time I worked back in this direction, I made a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. So that's 2 slip stitches. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this in this video because I already have a tutorial about this. I'll put the link in the description. So when you finish the last stitch, chain 1, just fasten off. And then I'm gonna do the back. So I'm just gonna place the 2 edges together and sew up to here because we can close this. So I didn't leave enough yarn, but you should have. So I mark the stitches together and then I just use mattress stitch to sew it up. and then you can fasten it off. Okay, then I'm gonna work single crochets here all the way to the other side. And for the first 10 stitches, it's back loop only. So you only work in the back loops. Okay, and then for this edge, you work 1 single crochet for each row. So, like I said before, 1 bump is 2 rows. So you work 2 single crochets here. And at this gap here, you just work normally as well. I'm gonna work 1 single here, and then turn, continue working in this edge. And for this ribbing, I also worked in the back loops. And then just like before, you would work your ribbing, but this time I'm going to decrease on this side so it gets narrower and narrower, like that. So eventually it becomes a string. So to decrease, I first work 8 stitches, and then the decrease happens at number 9th and the number 10th stitch. So to make a decrease, insert your hook in the next stitch, back loop, pull up a loop, and then in the next stitch, in the back loop, pull up 1 more loop, and then yarn over, pull through 3. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn. And this row you just work 1 single crochet in each stitch, starting from the first stitch, this one. So you insert in the back loop and work 1 single crochet in each of the 9 stitches. Chain 1 and turn again, and work your back loop single crochets. Because I don't want to decrease that fast, so at the end of this row, I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. And then I'm going to work in that direction, and on my way back this time, I'm going to decrease. So you do 1 row decrease like that, and then you do 3 rows of normal single crochet row. And then after 3 rows on your way back in this way, make a decrease over the last 2 stitches again. So repeat that pattern and continue working this ribbing like that. So now I have 2 stitches, that's a chain 1, turn my work, and here I can work 1 more decrease. And now I have 1 stitch. Again, so I just chain 1 and turn, and work that 1 stitch, chain 1 and turn again. So I'll just continue working this 1 stitch until the strap reaches my desired length. And this part you can actually work it quite smoothly. So basically you just keep turning in the same direction, and this just works up really fast. Okay, and then at the end, I'll just chain 1 and fasten off. And this length When I put it on, this reaches about my belly button. Okay, so on the other side, you'll just do the same thing, but you need to make sure you find the correct direction. As you can see, this row I worked in this direction. So the next row should be working like that. So that means I need to attach my yarn here. And for this side of the ribbing, we need to begin with a decrease. So you attach your yarn in the 10th stitch in the back loop only. And then in these 2 stitches, make a decrease. So insert your hook in the same stitch, back loop. Also, I can carry this tail so I can hide it in the work. Pull up a loop. Next stitch, back loop. Carry the tail, pull up one more loop. And then yarn over, pull through 3. Okay, and then you just work 1 single crochet in the back loop of each stitch. So that's the decrease row. And then you would work 3 rows going like that, 1, 2, 3. And then for the 4th one, at the beginning of the row, you would decrease again in the first 2 stitches. So like that, first 2 stitches, that's a chain 1, first stitch. And in the second stitch as well, a decrease. So continue repeating that pattern and finish the other strap in the same way. Okay, so I marked my ears using 6 stitch markers, and then I found the center of the hat, adjust these spots so they can be symmetrical, and then I'm gonna try to sew them. I did one ear. I thought it was gonna be harder, but it's actually kind of easy. So basically, I started on the outer edge. By the way, you want your yarn tail to start from here and this ear from here. Alright, so my yarn tail is here. I got it to the wrong side. So basically, I get my needle to the next stitch here. And then I go in the stitch like that. 2 loops here. I'm gonna go through the 2 loops like that and then go back to where this yarn is coming out of. So like that. And then I'll do it to the next stitch. So the sewing bit is not the hard bit. I think what's difficult is getting your stitches in line. So where are you going to insert your needle is important. Okay, and then the front edge, this thing, I'm not going to attach it to the hat, but to this side. So my needle is going to go in, through, and out, through like that. So basically, you're just going to sew it stitch to stitch. And then you will just fasten off on the wrong side. And then it's done. I love the ears. They look cuter than I expected. I hope you like it too. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.